All right, guys, guess what? We're back already. We're back already, casting another match. This time it's going to be Div B East, not Div D East, and we're going to have Anarchy versus Hunkrats. So, I didn't have quite as much time to prep for this one. I don't have any notes ready. I did look enough to know that both of these teams have even map records. I didn't see the series records, but they are both at 2 and 7 in maps. So they're both teams that are struggling a little bit this season. One of them's going to go. One of them gets a win here. I would like to check whether one of them does actually have like a series win or not. They both have 2 map wins, 7 map losses. Tough season for both. I'm just saying, literally saying all the same stuff that I said again. So let's just go to the map screen because I can barely talk anymore. So if we take a look here, these are our map picks and bans. Anarchy banned out Dragonshire and Cursed Hollow. Hunkrats. What a picture there for their team logo. Hunkrats banned out. What did they ban out even? I can't even see. Volskaya and Tomb of the Spider Queen, and it's Anarchy taking us to Braxis. No. It's Hunkrats taking us to Braxis Holdout for the first match. I'm often a little surprised when I see Braxis Holdout as the first match. I'm not a Braxis fan. I'm not a Braxis fan. And I guess in my mind, I feel like, well, if I'm not a Braxis fan, then why would anyone else be a Braxis fan? Because why would there be different points of view? But I also feel Braxis is not a super easy map to play. Obviously, the offlane matchup matters a lot. The higher you go up in level of play, the more the offlane matchup is not a simple one-to-one, and there are rotations and high priorities on heroes like Brightwing, on Genji, to assist the offlaner with their offlane matchup, so that you're not just leaving the game down to being a 1v1 top and a 4v4 bot and hoping you win at least one of them, if not both of them. You kind of switch the situation up a little bit, make it a little bit more flexible, so that if you're not winning one of them, you can change things up and win the other. I have actually never considered the possibility of whether my current computer setup would even be a limitation to having another monitor. I guess it depends on how many, what is it? Basically how many ports you have, how many either HDMI or display ports you have, unless you've got other things like DVI-I or VGA. Not in 2023. Either HDMI or display port. And we've got everybody in the lobby, so our first game is going to be starting pretty soon, hopefully. I'm going to let them know that I am ready as the caster. So what's up, guys? Glad to have you here. If you don't know me, I'm King Andrew. I'm a Heroes of the Storm player, NGS caster, former school teacher. I'm out of order with my titles, ARAM enthusiast, and I'm also a voice actor. It's good to have you here. I wear many hats, even though I'm not currently wearing one, but I do have many roles, many things, many talents. Maybe I'm not that good at them, but I like to try many things. One of the things I'd like to do is I'd like to try getting this lobby going. We at least have one team ready. Friends in the chat, Valkymer, Nyquil. Who else did we have? And right now I'm just talking about the people who I know best, and that's not to say that I don't dislike anybody else who's here. You're all wonderful, but obviously Nyquil and Valkymer are 2 people who I go pretty far back with at this point. Known both for years, been friends with both for years, played on teams with both of them at some point. And, we're making new friends here today. A lot of new followers. So some people who I've, of course, seen before. Don't know as well, but I do recognize people like Nor. I've definitely seen Nor around playing and stuff. And yeah, I'm running out of stuff to say. So how is Starfield? How's Starfield, guys? You enjoying Starfield? This is such a bad bit. I do actually want to play Starfield at some point, but I'm just backed up on my current log of games, and I don't like to play games at full price. Pay full price for games. You know what? This is actually a good question. How much money have you spent on HOTS? How much money have you spent on HOTS? For me, personally, I've spent a grand total of, I think, $15. I think it was $15, and I think that was for the Maraudin Muradin skin when it first came out, when you could not buy it any other way. You had to spend real-life money, and I thought it was sick, and at the time, I actually liked to play Muradin. Forget about that. We're getting into a draft now. But also, if you want to share in the chat how much money you've actually spent on HOTS, go ahead. We got any whales here? Any HOTS whales? That could be the name of a team. as I hit my microphone. I wonder if that makes any sound. All right, so first game in our series here, Braxis Holdout. Our offlane players, I do know that Hunterlust is the offlane player on the side of... Oh, and I messed up the team names, didn't I? Or, no, you know what? I didn't mess up. They messed up. They're on the wrong sides, and I didn't ask them to... All right, well, we fixed it either way, but that also does mess things... I think that might mess some things up a little bit in the... I think that does mess some things up a little bit with like the map stuff. It just fixed things in terms of the... In terms of the draft and the players, but a little disappointing. Yrel going to be banned out on the side of Anarchy. I'm often surprised to see a Yrel ban. I do personally think that Yrel is actually like an extremely good hero. I think she is the 4th best offlaner in the game, but she is also just such a specialty pick because she does have her own unique mechanics that are really awkward, a very difficult learning curve for her. I don't enjoy that learning curve of her and never really got into the hero that much, but I do respect what she is capable of, and I do think she is a really strong hero. So I do respect a respect ban on a Yrel if you know that your opponent has a competent Yrel player. Right wing going to be banned out is pretty typical and also pretty strong on this map. Imperious. So seems like we kind of have some target banning on our offlane player on the side of Hunkrats, potentially. I'm not sure. I haven't done my research myself, but hopefully they've done their research. Although, personally, these days, I don't really even see Imperious that much as an offlane hero. I personally think of him more as a 4-man flex DPS. Although I could also see him as being pretty good as a duelist on that point on the top, since he does have pretty high damage, pretty good self-sustain, things like that. The Junkrat going to be banned out. Just a strong hero. I think it's Tunabreff who plays that Junkrat. And finally, we're going to see our first picks. Johanna is up, and Johanna's going to be the pick. I was going to talk about how, like, although Johanna is up, I don't feel like she needs to be the first pick, but it turns out she is the first pick. And that's going to be our first pick. We're going to see a Johanna first pick. She is a strong tank. I don't think she is, like, head and shoulders the best tank in the game. Whereas that kind of seems to be the perception among some levels. I think, like, lower to mid divisions, that's kind of seems to be the perception. I personally think Diablo is a little bit better of a tank, but Diablo is also mechanically a little bit more difficult to play and can also be a little bit more unforgiving if you do get caught. Whereas, by contrast, Johanna is very forgiving as far as the tanks go, and is mechanically also probably on the easier side as far as tanks go. Gul'dan can be picked up. Gul'dan, not a hero that I feel like I normally see a lot, but Gul'dan, I think this is a strong map for Gul'dan. He does have fantastic wave clear, which is great when you're defending against a Zerg wave. Can make it very difficult for a Zerg wave to really get a lot of value if your Gul'dan player is there and ready to just kind of nuke it with his spells. The Anduin pickup, pretty typical. One of the best healers in the game. Also some potential for things like Genji being picked up or Muradin on the side of Hunkrats that would synergize very well with an Anduin Light Bomb. Stukov going to be banned out, so a little bit of a healer choke at this point. Stukov, Brightwing, some of the top healers. The other top healers remaining are, in my opinion, Rhaegar and Lucio. Rhaegar would probably be the better of the two, but I don't know if that necessarily is coming. Meanwhile, things are getting ahead of me. We also see that Jaina picked up by Shadow Droid. Hunterlust on the Hogger. Hogger, fantastic hero. One of the top 3 offlaners in the game. And if I did actually have to pick, I would personally say that I feel like Hogger is the best between Hogger, Blaze, and Dahaka. I'm probably sure there is some debatability to that, especially when it comes down to what maps you're actually playing the heroes on. But nevertheless, Hogger, extremely powerful. Crazy damage potential out of that hero. Like, when you have a really good Hogger, they can actually just straight up match the damage potential of a DPS hero. Now, this is getting hot. We've got an Uther, we've got double heal, we've got Gul'dan. I wonder if we're going to see, like, Vala last pick. I actually really don't know what we're going to see last pick out of Hunkrats, but the Uther is... I mean, Uther Anduin is... it's just too strong here. Wow, Morales going to be picked up. Morales, actually, you know what? Morales, although is not something I typically see, I think this is actually a pretty strong map for Morales because of the fact that she doesn't use mana. So she doesn't have to worry about running out of mana to sustain her team when you're trying to do that fight bottom. And the Zul'jin going to be picked up as kind of the hyper carry out of Anarchy. And not a bad choice playing into double healer. Going to be able to get a lot of stacks because typically a double healer comp wants to fight a lot. It's going to be the Rexxar as the last pick. Now, so I guess it's really, the Gul'dan is kind of your hyper carry. He is capable of huge damage numbers, but his burst damage isn't so great. And I guess that also means that this is actually very interesting, and I'm not quite sure how this is going to work out in terms of, you know, kind of lane assignments. And I think we need to wait until we actually get into the game to really talk about it more. It's a very interesting draft either way. Wondering if I potentially had some drop frames there or just some connection problems. I was looking at some things in my OBS that did. Oh, no time for that. We had a quick load in. Quick load in. So yeah, let's look at these drafts a little bit more. And I guess what I'm kind of confused about is going with the Blaze and the Rexxar. The Blaze is one of the best offlaners in the game, but he is not really great at dueling on the point. He does tend to, I think he does lose a lot of duels, so I think the Rexxar's better for that 1v1 match up top. We're going to see the Blaze in the 4-man. I guess in this case, the Blaze is actually the main tank. I thought when we saw the Uther that it was going to be more of like an Uther main tank bottom, and we would see like a second DPS, but instead it's just going to be the Gul'dan as the solo range DPS out of Hunkrats. So that is pretty interesting. Oh, I'm also on the wrong overlay. Can't even see those talents through that draft overlay. All right, Condemn going to go out from Tuna Breath. My Pal Shade taking a lot of damage there. MJH, of course, voluntarily losing his health so that he can deal more damage as Zul'jin. Tuna Breath trying to make that space. In the long run, it's tough to say because, of course, the sustain is going to be better for Hunkrats. The problem with their sustain is that eventually their sustain will run out of mana, whereas the sustain on the side of Anarchy will not. What is going to be the problem is that Zul'jin is dead. Their damage just ran out of health. They're trying to see if they can get the kill onto Waterlong, but not without Zul'jin against a double healer team. I think the Zul'jin has potential. It can probably stack a lot. Unfortunately, dying is really a unfortunate set of circumstances. Even more unfortunate is the Morales dying as well, potentially face checking the bush or something. Not quite sure. Missed it. And our offlane matchup doesn't seem to be too eventful so far. I think Colonel Pants is the Yrel player. Of course, you know, playing the offlane right now, it makes sense that they would be the person to play Yrel. Waterlong looking a little bit low on health. The good thing about having Gul'dan as kind of like your solo DPS with a double healer is that the Gul'dan can really pump out the damage very liberally. Gul'dan has a very short cooldown on Fel Flame, and we are going to see a Fel Flame build out of our Gul'dan player. And he doesn't have to be too conservative with it. He can just keep on tapping because he's just going to get a lot of heals. But it's Arthanau who really needs a lot of heals right now. Pretty low on health, can't afford to step up forward much more because it's still a 3v4 here. Uther went back at some point, didn't die. Arthanau decides to step up. My Pal Shade not using the stun on Johanna, going for a stun on Shadow Droid or something with this big, I don't know about this big wraparound. That stun on Morales was super not worth it. At some point just needed to go for something closer. That stun from Uther is super useful, but you gotta respect the fact that he does not have mobility. Maybe a stun here is gonna work. Ultimately, this double heal out of Hunkrats is self-sustaining. Oh, I thought it was the Uther who picked up the final kill, but instead it was the Gul'dan. I think the Uther did have like a big W, a big, what is it called? Holy Radiance? That did a big chunk of chunk of damage, not a chunk of damage, because I think the final tick of damage probably came from the Gul'dan corruption. Meanwhile, Colonel Pants does have this bottom point. He is getting a little low on mana. Talents are also going to matter quite a bit here. We do see the Hungry Bear. This is actually kind of a talent adjustment for Rexxar, specifically on this map. I think more often you see the Hunter-Gatherer from Rexxar, and I think on most maps that probably is the pick. But I think that Hunter-Gatherer helps him out a bit more on this map. Big charge by Arthanau. but it's super hard to kill a target that is getting healed by Morales and also getting safeguard from Morales. So, my god, Shadow Droid getting super low here, and Trunks does not have any health. So this is where the Morales struggles. Like, at some point, she runs out of energy, she needs to go back, and she's not great as an AoE healer. And Gul'dan is really good at doing AoE damage. I'm not sure which draft I actually favor. I kind of see strengths and weaknesses of both drafts, and those strengths and weaknesses kind of mash up into each other, almost like a puzzle piece. We're just going to have to see how the game goes. Obviously, things are going a little bit better for Hunkrats, as they do have 3 kills to 0. They've got a lead in experience. They're going to be at level 7 talent tier advantage at some point. So, Tuna Breath is in there, does get stunned. She does have Unstoppable, but soon she won't, and she's staying in there. She is getting that safeguard from the Morales, but the health bars are really high. MJH super low on mana, but he is a Zul'jin, so he kind of just needs to hit some autos. Gonna get some autos there, but they're gonna be short, low attack speed autos. All right, he is losing some of his health there, and of course with Zul'jin, you play a dangerous game there between giving up health for attack speed and potentially just dying because you have no health. Tuna Breath gonna flash that wave. And MJH is stepping up. I think at this point, we have different members of each team getting low on mana. I think that we're probably going to see a kill at some point. Arthur now is standing in the blizzard. It could be him, and it is going to be him. That first death. First death and first kill, finally, in favor of Anarchy. The longer this game goes on, I think probably it does... Oh no, My Pal Shade gets the pull from Anduin, but Anduin himself, or herself, as it's played by Lulu, is not really in the best position for a pull, and that's another kill in favor of Anarchy. The longer this game goes, I do think this game actually does favor the comp for Anarchy, as I do think the Zul'jin just scales harder than the Gul'dan. Whereas I think that double healer, probably stronger in the early game. You just get straight up more heals, but that Zul'jin at some point is going to be chunking hard. And he's really just going all in on the recklessness stacking. Full Zerg wave for Anarchy, so looking good so far, even though they are currently lower in kills. I don't know if both Shadow Droid and Hunterlust need to be here for the clear. Probably a little bit of a missed opportunity for Shadow Droid to get some extra siege up here, as we do see the Ultralisk kind of being taken out already. One Ultralisk is down. The 2 front Ultralisks are really low on health. Front wall is taken down. Tuna Breath walking in with the Condemn. My Pal Shade getting super low, taking all that poke from Zul'jin, who already actually has completed U1 Axe, so he's getting the double cleave on the Arcanite axes. Yeah, the Zul'jin is actually starting to be super impressive right now. Arthanel with another charge in, but it doesn't do much. Anarchy potentially looking back here to just take their easy camp. Hard camp going to be taken by Hunkrats. And we're going to see camps taken all around. I thought Colonel Pants was about to take the easy camp. Probably takes him a bit of a long time to do that. And yeah, camps just being taken all around. Bruiser camp will be taken by Anarchy. Colonel Pants looking to get a little bit of push here. And this, where is he going? He's rotating, kind of an aggressive rotation for him. I feel like at this point he should know that someone needs to defend bottom. And now I don't even think it's safe for him to rotate back this way. He kind of rotated aggressively on the other team's side. So good awareness by him. Knew that he couldn't go back that way, and he's going to go back here and just take care of this bruiser camp, which doesn't look like it's actually going to get much done. Instead, we're going to see a 5v4 happen top. But no engage happens. We're actually going to see the falling sword out of the Johanna. I'm not so sure about the falling sword. I've seen Tuna Breath play on her streams where it does seem that she likes the falling sword. What is good about the falling sword is that it kind of just provides another safety tool for Zul'jin, and might just really help to make Zul'jin kind of unkillable in this game. Just an extra layer of protection. Just kind of really weakens their engage. So Hunterlust still does have the shockwave though for the engage. A big fight going down right here. Shockwave does go out, so does the falling sword. Who is going to get the point though? Blaze is knocked off the point by Hunterlust. Hunterlust gets it, but Hunterlust himself I think goes down here, and that is the first death in that fight. 4-2 in kills now in favor of Hunkrats, and they are going to find another kill onto Tuna Breath. So they win that fight. Did that need to be a fight? I mean, ultimately, Anarchy gets the camp, but I guess what they lose in response is that we're going to see the boss taken. We're going to see the boss taken by Hunkrats. Okay, with that boss being taken, Anarchy is just deciding to push. They see no one on the map. Lulu nearly dying. Lulu actually needs to be kind of careful there, stepping forward, and Hunterlust was walking in. It's still a pretty early boss, so if it's cleared, it probably doesn't get that much damage done. And we do have this stacking Zul'jin going all in. Huge stacks on the Zul'jin at this point. 40 extra attack damage with the Yuan Axe. And again, getting that extra attack speed from the Ferocity at level 7. Just really making it so he stacks a lot. Tuna Breath just trying to buy some time for their backline as the boss will be cleared out. The boss will take down the front wall. Tuna Breath does get stunned here, kind of getting chain stunned, but does have the Iron Skin to stay alive. Raw, just a raw Ring of Frost thrown out, but then Shadow Droid does get hit with the Horrify, and Shadow Droid is the first one to go down. Tuna Breath also going to get stunned. Arthanel still in here. Tuna Breath super low. What's going to happen? Does Arthanel go down? Does MJH try to make something happen here? He might! Oh, what a nice kill. Needs to get, trying to go for more. Nice plays by MJH there on the Zul'jin. Yeah, I think at this point, I mean, the kills are still strongly in favor of Hunkrats, but the Zul'jin just more and more really seems to be becoming a problem for Hunkrats. Taking a look at our level 10s here. The stim drone just going to pile on top of the things that are already working out really, really well for this Zul'jin. Just putting Anarchy, really putting their faith into MJH to make things happen. Of course, you know, Shadow Droid is another damage player, but the investment here is clearly into MJH, who has 52,000 damage. He's actually not even the top damage for his team. Big stun by Arthanel, along with the light bomb, but he's walking away. A little bit of miscommunication between the team, and we are going to see Lulu step into that raw Ring of Frost. And now, Anarchy are just running them down. They can't get out. My pal Vince is just barely going to be able to get out, courtesy of the oil here thrown down by Arthanel. So, Hogger, of course, doing huge damage here. Gonna commit that. Can he get the kill onto Colonel Pants? I think he does. He does, in fact, get the kill there. Very nice by Hunterlust, getting that solo kill onto Hogger. Or rather, onto Rexar. So yeah, if we take a look at our damage numbers, okay. Zul'jin is now pulling away from Hogger, but it's still also just amazing the damage that Hogger is putting out. And that really just is like the strength of Hogger. A lot less damage on the side of that Rexar. Not in any sense meant to roast Colonel Pants, really just kind of reflecting on what the heroes can do. You know, of course, Rexar's main damage spike does come at 13 with this aspect of the Hawk, giving him that extra attack speed. Does need to make sure he connects with the Spirit Swoop. Big Zerg Wave coming here in favor of Anarchy. They're only pushing with 3. They've got 2 people pushing top, both Jaina and Hogger, played by Hunterlust. And this engagement, I mean, this is a 5v3 fight. This time, I don't even think the Falling Sword is going to be enough. There's got to be at least 1 kill here. There's got to be, surely. There's got to be another stun here coming out from the Rexar at some point, from the Misha even. So I think they're going to make their 1 kill onto Tuna Breath, and I think MJH and SSJ Chunks just get out of there. SSJ Chunks, excuse me. Shadow Droid and Hunterlust even managing to take out another structure, taking out that top 4. Even getting some decent damage on this bottom keep. It's at less than 50% of its health. So Anarchy actually still does not have the most kills in this game, but ultimately they're really just pulling away. Eye of Zul'jin, just further enabling Zul'jin's ability to just completely run down the other enemy team. A lot of really important power spikes here actually for Anarchy. The Eye of Zul'jin is a big one. You just can't get away from Zul'jin unless you either slow him, stun him, or something. Otherwise, he will just keep running at you. And the pummel is a really big one for the Hogger. Comparatively, the 13's not quite as strong, I think, for Hunkrats. So this is looking really strong. It's actually a slight experience lead now. Now it's completely even. And Anarchy just looking for another fight, and why not? Their Zul'jin has 63 bonus attack damage. What does he go at 16? I imagine since he didn't go Arcanite Axes at 7, probably does not go Arcanite Axes at 16. I imagine we'll see maybe the percent damage, and I forget what the third option is. Look at this boss. It just melts from this Zul'jin. All right. Looks like they're just going to push with this boss. I mean, why not? This Zul'jin just only gets even more and more stacked. What can they do? Hunkrats, that is. I think it's kind of on waterlong to hit like a super mega big giga horrify. Colonel Pants taking massive damage there. Misha already down, and here comes the Stim Drone. MJH gets feared. He's going to die. Oh my god, that's like exactly what they needed to make something happen in here. But have they even won the fight yet? This fight is still happening. Shadow Droid's still here to do damage. Tuna Breath does go down, so this is going to be a one fight in favor of Hunkrats. They needed that so badly. They will be able to clear out the rest of the boss without losing their keep, and maybe even get some beacon progress with 2 dead on the side of Anarchy. So really, really critical plays there. MJH standing kind of far forward with, he literally only had like 20% of his hit points because he's really trying to maximize the damage of the Zul'jin. I actually do see the wrong place, wrong time out of Zul'jin. It's super good for siege, super good burst damage on a stun. So I respect it, even though we didn't see the Arcanite Axes at 7. But yeah, really important kill there. Waterlong finding the Horrify onto Zul'jin while he was already at really low health, not leaving him with an opportunity to use Taz Dingo, which, yeah, was just not used. Misha goes down here, maybe? Question mark? No, it doesn't happen. Oh, Colonel Pants. Oh no, he's gone. Are they going to get My Pal Shade too? Yes, they are. Just finding them split. They move in. They get the kill. And that, with that, they're even going to forget the beacons, and they're just going to go for a keep. This wasn't necessary. We really did not need to use the Stim Drone here. Maybe if that was level 20 Stim Drone with the shorter cooldown, but we did not need to use Stim Drone there. Still, huge advantage for Anarchy at this time. And again, despite the fact that the kills are still technically in favor of Hunkrats, but they've got the beacons, they're going to get the beacons, they're going to move down, possibly even just take that. They really actually should take this bottom keep as well. There's really no reason for them not to. They've got the damage. They can let Tuna Breath tank it for a little bit. Or not. Think things could have happened there. We even have the longer blizzard, so could have thrown a blizzard from long distance. All right, Boris did go out, but that is a 100% Zerg wave in favor of Anarchy. So Boris not going to achieve much there. Some ults going out on the side for Anarchy, and it's actually Tuna Breath who's in trouble and doesn't actually get to play the game there. That might give Hunkrats an opportunity to stay in this game, but of course they will need to clear the Zerg wave. The Zerg wave will finish the core by itself if it is not handled. They get another kill. Now they need to take care of the Zerg wave. Hunkrats still leading in kills despite being at a huge structure disadvantage. Obviously, it just must mean that Anarchy are winning things when it matters most. I actually don't like that Shadow Droid and Trunks are here. This Zerg wave, even if it is a baby Zerg wave, is getting progress. It is making things happen. It will do damage to this keep. So Zul'jin is coming back here. Let's see even how much damage this Zerg wave does to the keep. It's not a lot, but I think the fact that it's actually getting anything done is kind of illegal. Yeah, getting half this keep. This game is now actually super winnable for Hunkrats. They absolutely have a way into this game. They're positioning on the boss, but the boss is here. The boss is here. This is crazy. Now, on the one hand, if they can wait 15 more seconds, they have potential Divine Shield on the boss point. They've also got Horrify, which is really good for the boss point, but we also have things like Falling Sword, which can make everyone on Anarchy unstoppable, and then they can get the boss point. I don't know. It's scary. They're both looking at it. Hunkrats gonna pull off, take their bruiser camp. I kind of like that play. Anarchy gonna do the same. This play favors Anarchy over Hunkrats, but actually it helps Hunkrats at least to slow this down. But now Gul'dan is going back for this. Oh my god, we're kind of turning into a game of chicken here. Really slowing down the game. Anarchy gonna start painting the map red. And they do have 20. It's not gonna be a very long 20 talent tier advantage, so what's gonna happen here? Tune and Breath just going in. Bunker goes out, so do the Boars. It's only a level 19 Boars, maybe just kind of thrown out in panic. So no rooting on that Boars. Ult's thrown out on both sides. Anarchy just going to steal this camp right from out under the noses of Hunkrats. Hunkrats just, they need to find level 20. I kind of feel like they need to split off to these lanes like real fast. Like, it's tough because now they need to clear both of them. If they try to clear both of them, that might just be Anarchy moving back to the boss and burning it down super fast with this 76 bonus attack damage. Zul'jin, crazy amounts of damage. Okay, Hunkrats knows they need to go back here, but I don't think they're going to get in time. Okay, Arthur is trying. He gets booped away. So now it's Uther going in, I think. Yep, Uther going in, goes in with the light bomb. Where's the D shield? The D shield needs to go out. The D shield. Okay, it finally does go out, but it's not enough, as the boss does go in favor of Hunkrats. Oh no! Oh my god! Oh god! They need to go back to their core, though. This game is still going. Or is it? These are so many cannibals doing so much damage. You gotta get the Hellbats, too. Down to 65%. And they keep the boss, which keeps them in this game. MJH defending it. He kind of needs to be careful here. He just took damage from the Archangel. Oh, no. From that little missile that it shoots. He needs to be super careful because members of Hunkrats could start pushing up. Oh, my God. This game was actually looking super favored for Anarchy for a little while, and now it's suddenly kind of even. We're going to be probably staring at a 100% Zerg wave in favor of Hunkrats. I mean, that boss fight was so crazy. I don't even really know what happened. All right. So there's that 100% Zerg wave. I wonder how much this Zerg wave does. Like, does this need to be defended? Especially, anyway, things are going to happen here. I'm a little worried that at what this bottom Zerg wave will do while Hunkrats is trying to push top. And, you know, they're probably just, you know, ready to throw their Hail Mary and just try to end top. Hunterlust down here in that bottom bush, but does get scouted out by my pal Shade. Okay, Boar's gonna go out. This one's got it. This one is the level 20 Boars. Possibly going for Zul'jin. Zul'jin is gonna get the stim drone. Hunterlust, though, can't deal with that level 20 Horrify out of Gul'dan, and he does go down. Level 20 Horrify, extra long, for a second Horrify, and you get the armor reduction. A lot of kills happening right now. Lulu can't make it out of here alive. I don't think, no way yet. Oh no. Oh, and look at what happened. That bottom push did matter. So Anarchy is actually going to close out this game. Their own core is dying, but they do win the game. What a crazy game. What a crazy game. I tell you, these crazy games do have a way of finding me. I was going to say, these games do have a way of finding me. I have a bad habit of going to the wrong screen. Whew. Yeah, that was a game. So hopefully, you know, we have game one here was super sick. Game one of the last series was also super sick. Unfortunately, in the last series, game two was kind of a wash. So hopefully this series will be a little bit more even. But yeah, take a look at our damage numbers. Zul'jin, of course, topping things, getting just super stacked, having that Morales as a way of empowering him. Morales, obviously not a super common healer. This is definitely a better map for her. And Morales with Zul'jin is a very powerful pairing. The thing with Morales is that she's not really a great general purpose healer, but what she is actually really good at is at being a pocket for a hyper carry. So, she's good with things like Zul'jin, Greymane, Vala, basically the auto attack heroes because of the stim drone. But even aside from the stim drone, you have the combination of a heal that has no cooldown and 35 armor makes it very, very difficult to kill whatever target is receiving those 2 cooldowns. Proving to be, just a nuisance in the end. Super close game. Overall, I do actually feel that the draft from Anarchy was a little bit stronger, scaled better. To the extent that Hunkrats was able to make it even, it really depended on Gul'dan getting critical horrifies that resulted in kills because it prevented members of Anarchy from using life-saving cooldowns. So a big one being Tazdingo. But let's take a look at our map screen. Actually, no, let's not take a look at our map screen yet because we're not ready with a new map. So, what's up, guys? It's King Andrew. I'm an NGS player. Here's the Stormcaster, a RAM enthusiast. I'm a voice actor, and I'm also a former school teacher. I'm on my second cast of the day here. Depending on what happens, we probably don't have enough time to pick up a third. I was considering, because there is a series happening at 8 o'clock. I think the only way that happens is if we get into a game and if it is a 2-0 in favor of Anarchy. And of course, we don't want that to happen because we want these to be even series. We want it to be 2-1, whoever gets the first game. And especially because Hunkrats did make it so even, would like to see them bring it back in a game 2 and then go to a wonderful game 3. If it does go to game 3, I will definitely only be casting these 2 series, and I need to drink some water. I was shouting at kids earlier today, not in a bad way. I was outside playing, doing physical education with some kids as I was substitute teaching today. So my voice was probably already a little coarse before I decided to cast today. And casting today was probably also not a super responsible decision. And the more number of matches that I actually cast, the less responsible that I am. I'm a 36-year-old adult, by the way, just in case you wanted to know. Don't know how much that water gulping comes through on the mic, but either way, needs to be done. Still haven't heard from the teams as far as next lobby. So, what's going on? How's everybody in the chat? Obviously, we do have some people from the teams here, mainly Tuna Breath, in the chat, but also in the game and winning the game. So that's the meta. And whatever map we go to next, I will wonder if we are going to have some respect bans. The Zul'jin in particular is... If there's any one respect ban, I would expect it to be the Zul'jin. That was clearly the big investment. Morale is kind of harder to run on, I think, other maps outside of Braxis. But, I mean, if you're still going with Zul'jin, I think it works. And you could for sure run other healers with Zul'jin. And as much as I think Morales is very good for enabling Zul'jin, but the honest truth is there are probably better healers that you can run with Zul'jin. Probably Anduin, but Anduin was taken by the other team. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, and I'm not going to go to the map screen because these guys, I think they messed up home and away team in the lobby. We'll forget about that. But I will tell you, second map of the series is Battlefield of Eternity. Love Battlefield of Eternity. It is one of my favorite maps. And as long as I'm waiting, maybe I'll see if I can fix the map screen because I did have to switch teams and stuff. Oh, I can swap the map data as well. That might help. Yeah, that probably fixes it. I hope so. Yanthor coming in with the support for the Jaina. I'm kind of course just gassing up the Zul'jin, but the Jaina was there. The Jaina did hit some raw rings, so just connecting with the raw rings, making things happen. These guys not telling me who picked the map, but we'll take a quick look at the map screen. Let's see if it fixed itself. So I think Hunkrats picked Anarchy 1. We're going to assume that this is fixed. I did press the swap button. It's too hard to figure out. So second map, Battlefield of Eternity. And these guys, they really not telling me who picked this map. How could they? We'll see if Tuna is going to flex away from tank to bring out her 400% BOE Gul'dan. Take it away from Waterlong, who played it on the side of Hunkrats. We do have all our players in the lobby. Very good. So with any luck, they will tell me who picked the map. Or not. So since we are Battlefield of Eternity, I definitely could see Zul'jin again if it's not banned. Obviously, when we go to Battlefield of Eternity, there is a subset of DPS heroes that are kind of subclassified as race heroes that are particularly valuable on this map because of how strong they are on the objective. And I imagine we have players on both teams who play some of those heroes, so there might also be a shift. I think it's less likely that we see a double heal comp out of Hunkrats, especially if that means you're only going solo DPS. I think if you are going to do double heal, probably more likely to run like Uther as the main tank and actually have 2 DPS heroes. Unless you want to go solo heal, or unless you want to go solo DPS double heal, but then you're so weak on the objective and you really just need to win fights hard, and usually that means that you're like not really winning the first Immortal at the very least. I believe Waterlong probably plays Vala, probably plays Greymane. I'm not sure. I think I might be making this up, or I might be taking this from my memory of seeing Waterlong on a totally different team like many seasons ago. I'll let them know that I'm ready so that hopefully we get started on this at some point, because I start to run out of things to talk about. I can't keep going with the Starfield and the Baldur's Gate. I've been playing Cyberpunk, and I think it's a really good game. I know that Cyberpunk definitely had like a bad launch, and it definitely got a bad reputation for that, but you know, apparently they fixed the game over time. And as someone who plays games 3 years after they're released, when they are discounted, I think Cyberpunk is fantastic. I love it just as a shooter. I think it's great mechanically. It's a lot of fun to play. And it also has great voice acting. I'm a voice actor, so I appreciate great voice acting. I'm not as good of a voice actor as the people in the games, and I can't voice in a game like that because I'm not there yet. Voice acting is a very gate-kept industry. You gotta knock down the gates, find ways in. I'm not there yet, but Cyberpunk has great voice acting. It's just one of many things about that game that I really like. I think it's probably valid that I think with Cyberpunk, people have probably said that it didn't fulfill on promises that it made. It probably made some like ridiculously big promises that it didn't even come close to. We don't got time to talk about those promises though, because we've got our draft for game number 2 on Battlefield of Eternity. Will we see that respect ban on Zul'jin? At the very least, we're not going to see it yet because first ban is going to Anarchy. I wonder if they respect ban anything. I didn't feel like anything in that game went in a way that necessarily warrants a respect ban. And I'm not saying that the players on Hunkrats didn't play their heroes well. They played their heroes just fine. Saw some great things happen there, particularly with the Horrifies. We're going to see the Urel. So the target banning onto Colonel Pants. I'm pretty sure Colonel Pants is the Urel player. Urel just a strong... I think she's a very strong hero, and if you have someone who's good on her, she just disrupts the backline super hard. I think she has actually pretty good damage, and in some cases, like if she's not being respected, and if whoever is being harassed is not basically being helped, I think Urel does have the ability to actually kind of solo some people in the backline, especially if it's like an immobile hero, something like a Tassadar or a healer like an Anduin. We're going to see the Junkrat banned out first, so At least yet, no respect ban on the Zul'jin. If there is any respect bans, that is the one I would expect to see. Instead, we're going to see the Junkrat ban, which I think that's fine. So the same bans as last time, just not wanting to deal with the Imperius. And I'm guessing again that that's another Colonel Pants hero. It's going to be the Hogger banned out. So instead, we're going to see kind of... The thing about the Hogger this early on is that you can't really say it's a respect ban because it's a Hogger. It's just a good ban. It's just a meta ban. But Hunterlust did play it well, got some like solo kills onto Rexar, and the Vala is going to be picked up by Shadow Droid. I like it. You know, of course, Vala, definitely one of the highest priority heroes on this map. Super strong hero in general. 99% likely that we're going to see the Q build, and like a 1% chance that we'll see AA build. So, what do Hunkrats pick up? They're going to go with the Johanna. Actually going to be Colonel Pants, kind of swapping roles now. Going to be on the main tank, unless it is an off-lane Johanna, which is a completely valid thing, especially on a two-lane map like this, where you don't really need a double soaker. And Johanna can actually contribute a lot as an off-laner. A lot more flexibility also to go Falling Sword, even in less situational situations. Blaze variant going to be picked up. Ooh, you know what? The Tuna Breath variant might not be a taunt variant. I've seen the Tuna Breath variant at times, and Tuna Breath likes to rock the Colossus Smash. Right now, it looks like a tank variant because Tuna Breath played tank last game. We do see the Blaze and the variant, so that looks like our frontline combination, but I honestly would not be surprised if we saw this as a Colossus variant, just because I know that's something that Tuna likes to do. Morales going to be banned out. So even though we don't see the Zul'jin, Morales can also be very strong with Vala for a lot of the same reasons that Morales is strong with Zul'jin. Empowering a hyper carry, we've got a better hyper carry here in the Vala. Although the Morales would actually be pretty good with any Vala build, but would definitely be best with AA build. And I definitely, although the AA build is definitely the best Vala build overall on this map, I really do prefer to see the Q build. Raynor going to be banned out. No, don't ban the Raynor. Let the Raynor through and farm the Raynor. Just like Artanis. Stukov picked up by Lulu. Didn't even comment on that. Maybe some big Lurking Arm follow-ups on either Bless Shield or even just Condemn. Chromie going to come out from Waterlong, and my pal Shade going to be playing as the Leo. So, interesting. So, again, role swaps seemingly. Main tank Leo is also sometimes a thing. I don't actually fully understand when it's a thing. I just know that it can be a thing. I'm not sure if it would be good here. I think main tank Leo would just get farmed by Vala. So, I don't want to see it be a main tank Leo. Should just be a main tank Sylvanas. I wonder if we'll still have our players switch things up. We'll see. We'll see. What's our final pick going to be for game number 2? It's about time. Talking about good voice acting, fun voice acting. Love Tychus. What a fun hero. All right, and these are our drafts for game 2. All right, game number 2 in our best of 3 series, Div B East. We've got Hunkrats down in this series, but it was super close. They could easily come back. Colonel Pants is going to be on the Johanna, so it is a role swap. My pal Shade is going to be on the Leo. Lulu on the Stukov. Waterlong is going to be on the Chromie. Arthanau on that Tychus. Their opponents leading 1-0. Anarchy. Shadow Droid is going to be on the Vala. Tuna Breath on the Variant. Hunterlust is on the Blaze. SSJ Trunks is on the Deckard. And it's going to be Thrall, MJH, up top. So, you know what? I kind of think this is going to be the Tuna Breath Colossus variant. I think they're going to kind of work with Blaze as their main tank thing, sort of. I hate main tank Blaze. It's so bad, but it might be what we have here. Okay, High King's Quest. Yeah, this is a Colossus variant. Endurance Stim Pack, that's a main tank Blaze. I don't even know if Endurance Stim Pack is really the best for a main tank Blaze, but it makes sense that for someone to think, all right, if I'm going to main tank his Blaze, I'm going to go with the Endurance Stim Pack. So, early on, though, I think these level 1 fights in this bot lane, I think they do favor, they for sure, 3,000% favor Hunkrats. They have the full main tank in the Johanna, or is she even really a full main tank before level 10? She's certainly still more of a main tank than Varian pre-level 4, and also a better main tank than a Blaze. The sustained healing should also be better from a Stukov compared to a Deckard, except that I'm wrong, and so far Stukov has actually done more healing, so I'm wrong. Take that, stupid caster. Hunterless coming in here, but it's looking like things are working out well for Hunkrats as they take this bottom siege camp. How are things going up top? MJH not dodging the drain life, so we'll take some damage there. Seemingly struggling a little bit, but getting some of that Frostwolf resilience healing. Proccing spells. Finding himself just keeps on getting caught by the drain life. How is Tuna Breath doing on the stackies? Getting all those stackies. Can't actually just check from here. I can check from here. Still a little bit of a way to go on the stackies. All right, charge onto Johanna, but not enough damage yet. Vala does not have repeating arrow yet, so she doesn't have her full burst damage capabilities. Of course, Varian doesn't have Colossus Smash yet, and it's like I literally know 3,000% that this is going to be a Colossus Smash Varian. What a bait and switch it would. No, okay, there it is. There it is. I was wondering, like, in that last moment, if it was going to be a Twin Blades. With High King's Quest, it's extremely unlikely for it to be a taunt anymore, and I know that Tuna Breath likes the Colossus variant. Vigorous reuptake picked up here. That's interesting. I do feel that this actually could have been honestly, I think this probably should have been. Anyway, let's stop talking about those things. Tuna Breath nearly killing Arthanau. Chromie in the time stop. Does Shadow Droid get out of here? Big Stukov silence does have the low blow, so that big damage, and the first one to go down is going to be my pal Shade on that Leo. Oh yeah. Colonel Pants needs to be super careful here. Super low on health. My pal Shade is up. Vala is already racing on the Immortal. Does, of course, have the repeating arrow, but does not have the Monster Hunter yet. So doesn't have that big PvE bonus damage. PvE, yeah, PvP, no, PvE. Oh, big kill there, and big silence, taking out Deckard Cain. My pal Shade looking for more, seeing if they can take out Hunterlust, and they do. Leo probably going to want to clear this up a little bit. It does look like that Mage Bruiser minion is down, and actually the Bruiser is gone. So, Anarchy does have the lead here. I'm actually kind of surprised that they don't try to defend this with Blaze being dead. Instead, they're content. Instead, Hunkrats, that is, they are content to just burn down the shield, just do as much damage to their own Immortal, burn down the shield as much as they can, and then just defend it. So, level 7 Talontier coming in favor of Hunkrats. Can't get rid of this variant thing here. Oh, well. Man, they're a little far forward. Kind of caught behind some Immortal stuns and then stepping into a Deckard route. I think Colonel Pants gets out of there alive. Lulu very, very nearly got killed there. Fort front wall is going to be taken down. Colonel Pants, does he oh no, I don't think okay, he does actually. Wow, oh, that was really, really nice. We did have the time stop there. Colonel Pants was able to get the iron skin off and was able to survive. So, I do personally kind of think that going biotic armor here would have been stronger for Stukov, because the damage on the side of Anarchy is so heavily basic attack oriented. And it might not seem that way at first, but it really is. We have the Vala, and even though it's a Q build Vala, her auto attacks are still a huge part of her damage. She's still very much an auto attack based hero. The Varian in Colossus form is also something that is very much an auto attack based hero. You actually get 100% bonus attack damage from Colossus Smash, which also means you get double the rewards from High King's Quest. That's actually how it works. You actually get double the rewards from High King's Quest when you go Colossus Smash. And then we have Thrall, who's also very much a basic attack damage hero. But it's water under the bridge at this point. Water long under the... No, there's no bit here. There's no bit. But there might be a kill. Tuna Breath gonna look for that kill onto Lulu. Don't think he's gonna get it though. Or she. Tuna Breath. Ah, there is gonna get a kill. Okay, the kill did happen. It just wasn't Tuna Breath who was the one to actually make it happen. Certainly did a lot of the damage, had the initial initiation, and Hunterless just barely getting out of there with 100 hit points and then getting a heal from a potion going up to about 400, but will need to back nevertheless. So Hunkrats missing their healer, but Waterlong nevertheless going to get started on the Immortal. Waterlong probably going to... Ooh, Thrall going down there, just completely missing that while I will literally watch a Chromie just do damage to an Immortal. The Chromie might go down here. Yeah. I mean, that is one of the strengths of the Colossus variant is you can just solo enemy heroes if they are just isolated for some reason. That Chromie was just kind of there by herself with no one else there. And against the Colossus variant, you kind of just can't do that. The Colossus variant is very much a feast or famine hero. The Colossus variant will get shut down, like if there is help, if there is peel. But if a squishy hero is left by themselves, Colossus variant does actually just solo it. And this is a nice, strong Immortal in favor of Anarchy, starting to look a little bit better. The early game was looking better for Hunkrats, but things starting to look better for Anarchy. It is pretty even, very even game at the moment. 3-3 in kills, experience is very even, but this is a pretty big Immortal push, and there's even going to be a Bruiser Camp pushing along behind it once it comes out. My Pal Shade able to Wraith Walk out of there, but steps into the Dorito and then steps into the Immortal stun. Colonel Pants, meanwhile, taking a lot of damage up front. Does he have the stuff to get out of here? The Iron Skin. The sleep from Deckard might result in a kill. I think Colonel Pants finally does go down. He lived for so long. 75% anti-heal also coming out of that Deckard, and things starting to kind of snowball in favor of Anarchy once again. They get this top fort easy, and they're going to see what they can get here. I think it would be nice for them if they can get keep front wall. Attempted stun by Hunterlust, but just goes into the gate, and nothing actually happens. Bless Shield not ready for Johanna, so not able to get an engage there after the Immortal is taken down. Hunkrats is going to be looking to hold their bottom keep, or rather their bottom fort. So I think at this point, right now, I was going to say we probably just see both teams trade siege camps, but instead we're going to see the rotation here. They must have seen Colonel Pants here. Oh, in the flank by Tuna Breath. I think Lulu's dead. Trying to put the silence in place. Tuna Breath is gone too, so it's a 1-for-1 at this point, but what else is going to happen? Big Deckard sleep coming out. Artha now goes down. It's a 3-for-1 in favor of Anarchy. They make it 4. They're looking for Colonel Pants. He shouldn't die here. He does, of course, have Iron Skin. He does kind of walk away. But things are looking worse and worse for Hunkrats. It was looking better early on. It was looking even around that last Immortal phase. And now it's a pretty solid lead for Anarchy. So, bottom siege camp will be cleared. But Anarchy just going to take the top one. And that does mean that Hunkrats are going to have to deal with this siege camp pushing while the Immortal is happening. I mean, at best, maybe my pal Shade can clear it quickly, but this is Hunkrats. No, this is Anarchy already setting up on the Immortal. Or maybe they're setting up a little bit more offensively. No, they're setting up on the Immortal. No, they're looking for a kill. They're going. And do we have Shield Breaker? No, we don't have. We do not have Shield Breaker from the Tuna Breath variant. Instead, we are going to see the Mortal Strike. So just big anti-heals. And yet another Deckard Cain sleep, but it's only on to Leo, who I think might be okay. It's still a winning fight. He does charge out of this, and he will stun anyone he does come into contact with. Bless Shield does go out. They're looking for Hunterlust. Hunterlust, does he have the bunker? No, it's on cooldown, but it's a 1-for-1 in trade. Oh, I think it's going to be a 2-for-1 as Johanna goes down as well. No frontline left alive for Hunkrats. It's just looking better and better for Anarchy as they're going to now get a fully shielded Immortal. Fully shielded Immortal. They just keep on getting the kills. And, you know, one really underrated thing about the Colossus variant is that the Colossus variant... This is the Colossus variant, not that Deckard. The Colossus variant is actually super good for race. Super good for race. Does huge amounts of basic attack damage, so you're just getting those constant auto attacks doing huge amounts of damage, and then you even get the armor debuff from the Colossus Smash. So, you know, at this point, this is kind of looking like it could be a push for game. Full Shield Immortal. If we see any deaths whatsoever on the side of Hunkrats, I think they probably do just lose the game. MJH is looking pretty low, so Colonel Pants trying to make things happen here. A super big, huge, oh my god, the big Stukov silence. A kill does happen in return. They're actually just trading kills. Big silence from Lulu. Just might keep Hunkrats in this game. I think they get the kill into Tuna Breath. Maybe they can eat. No, Hunterlust is out. He does not go down, but the huge silence from Lulu making all the difference. And they keep this game just going on a little bit longer. Can they hold this keep? If they do, it's going to be with just a sliver of hit points, but it would be it would be actually huge to hold on to the keep. I really want to see everyone focusing 100% of this damage, 100% of their damage on this Immortal to hold the keep. That matters massively, because when you have when you are 0 structures in a lane against 2, that pressure is just absolutely backbreaking. Now, it's still looking pretty rough for Hunkrats, but they stabilize. They stabilize here, and this game is actually really not over. Do they have some big power spikes to look forward to? Level 16 Talontier coming in. Level 16 Talontier came in a little while for both teams, trying to see what our spikes are. The Holy Renewal is pretty good for a lot of things. I had already stressed earlier just how basic attack oriented the team of Anarchy is. So this Holy Renewal is actually huge. That's probably the big one. Chromie, of course, does get huge damage potential with fast forward. Yeah, I like the 16s a little bit better out of Hunkrats. So I feel like this is kind of their moment to shine. So very tentative and passive interactions happening right here. At some point, Hunkrats needs to back off because they really want to clear this before they have to deal with a fight. And I'm afraid they're not going to get it. It looks like they really want some kind of a kill, but this is going to take a keep. This is going to take a keep, and at some point they realize... Yeah, so finally they realized if they're not getting any kills there, they have to clear this. It literally will take a keep. And then again, I talked about that back-breaking pressure if you are 0 structures in a lane against 2 structures. So, Immortals are going to be set up on each team's respective sides, so neither team can really just go ahead and burn Poke isn't really huge. Poke is actually decent on both sides. We do have the Q build Vala. She is, and the Q build Vala is finding those like max range hungering arrows to find that poke. So some decent damage already done by Anarchy. Hunkrats is now in here. They've got some decent poke damage themselves. We have the Thrall inside and entomb, but a lot of damage happening on both sides. Arthur now kind of getting melted down by that Colossus Variant. The Colossus Variant's kind of being unanswered. Health bars are super low for Hunkrats, and they start going down. That is 2 heroes down for Hunkrats, and nobody has died yet, despite how low some of them are getting. 3 kills, 3 for nothing, make it 4 with that Tychus going down. I mean, at this point, I don't even think they need to get the Immortal. They can just, yep, and they realize it too. They don't need to get an Immortal. They can just go top. And this is pretty much their victory lap. Congratulations to Anarchy. Both teams kind of struggling in this season, but Anarchy managed to move up just a little bit in the standings with this win over Hunkrats. Let's see if I can find the right OBS scene now. There it is. Not quite the right timing for it, but will forgive me, hopefully. All right. So let's take a look at how things went statistically, since I didn't pay attention at all. Chromie, padding the damage stats. Huge numbers on the Chromie, but again, still not enough to win the game there. Chromie is kind of a hero that does kind of pad stats, does put out huge numbers. Doesn't necessarily always mean it's meaningful damage. And I'm not roasting Waterlong here. It's just a commentary on the hero, and that even though that this can still be a loss, even with those crazy damage numbers coming out of the Chromie. You know, of course, the Vala, highest damage on the team for Anarchy, and the Variant actually not far behind. The Variant is something that is... The thing with Variant is, actually, for a Colossus Variant, those are actually pretty high numbers. Pretty high numbers to be almost out-damaging your Vala. I think there were times when the Variant was just kind of going unanswered. But that is our game number 2. So another 2-0 series, which is a little bit of a shame. It does give me... It's cutting a little close with trying to pick up an 8 o'clock game. We probably just won't do that, and it's probably not the smart thing for me to do a third cast, because my voice is definitely... I probably could do it, but it probably would not be the responsible thing to do. Let's think about asking someone if they want to come in for an interview. Ah, they don't accept whispers. So... Who else can I message to see? All right, message one person on the team. We'll see if they get back to me. I'll get myself into a lobby. And, with any luck, we'll be starting our interview soon. So, in both cases, in both series, we had like super competitive first game. Second game, a little bit less competitive. That one, this game too, wasn't quite as dominant as the game 2 in our previous series, but it was still it was stronger than the first game, pretty commanding. I do have word that Tuna will be joining us for an interview shortly. What's up? It's King Andrew, and it's also Tuna Breath. How's it going? I'm good. I'm good. My throat's a little sore, but you guys must be feeling great from winning your match. How's that going? How are the team spirits? Good. Yeah. And Joker wasn't here either. I watched your stream a little bit, so I do know a little bit about kind of how the team dynamic goes. Nice. I love that. I love that choice of expression. I'm sure that's how he would like it too. And I I only, since I literally picked this up like 10 minutes before, I didn't see, had you won any series before this? I saw that you had 2 map wins, but did you have any series? Okay, good. So that was a 2-0. And you have another 2-0. Okay, very nice. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Like, I'm not doing math correctly, but yeah. You would have to get 2 wins, 2 map wins to win the series. Very good. Very good. Yeah, so tell me a little bit about your team. I kind of know a little bit. I do know that you're actually new to this team, and I've seen the other players on this team have been on this team for longer, but you're the one here, so you're the captain now. You know what? Hold on. I messed up. People couldn't hear you.
Hear me.
They couldn't. Now they can. Now they can.
Hello, Twitch.
Yeah.
So Anarchy, a team of the past, I just joined. Joker forced me to play, and it's just a super fun group, and we're trying to find our groove here. And
It looks like you're starting to find it.
yeah,
The answer is Colossus Variant.
yeah, apparently.
I mean, I saw it coming a mile away.
All
Like
the standard shit we've tried has not worked, so we're like, you know what? We're not winning, so you have to try fucking wacky shit at this point.
Yeah.
So.
Even with the Blaze Variant, like just seeing Blaze Variant in the draft, it's like, well, that just looks like main tank Variant and Blaze offlane. But I saw your name on the Variant, and I just saw a mile away. I knew the Colossus was coming.
Did you know?
I've seen you do it. I've seen you do it. But why? But why?
It's just fun, and it's I think it's underrated. You do massive damage, and you're also very frontline and tanky. So I don't know. I just like it. I like the front line.
All right. So you know, it's been a little bit of a struggle so far, but maybe here's where you guys turn it around. What was kind of going on earlier in the season? Was it just, I don't know, better teams or someone hinting?
You see, they didn't have me shot calling King Andrew. That was the main issue.
I see. Are we throwing Joker under the bus?
Yeah, Joker will admit it too. No, we're trying new stuff, and I think people are, I don't know, just playing stuff that's fun and trying to be more aggressive and whatnot.
All right, very good. I'm trying to think what that first game draft was, if there was anything particularly interesting from that one. The first game was the Zul'jin hyper carry.
Yeah, we were a little thrown off from that because I don't think we played that map yet, and so we were scrambling to figure out what to play, and Joker wasn't there, so I had to tank. So we were, I don't know. MJ had a great pick he was like, this looks good for Zul'jin, so we just trusted in that.
Yeah, you guys clearly put a lot of faith in him there, and
I was like, Morales, don't heal me, just heal Zul'jin. That's all that matters.
For sure. How are you looking to the rest of the season? Are there any teams that you think are going to be particularly challenging? You got plans for who all the teams you're going to beat so you can make playoffs?
I don't know many of the teams. I don't know many of the names, but I know I just show up. I know there is Fensad, which my friend Hirobi's on. I know they're like top of the division, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm aware of them. I cast them. I played them in the off season. Played against them.
It's the only team I'm aware of because my friend is on it. The rest we just show up, you know.
All right, very good. There's got to be someone on the team who's like does the scouting, does the homework.
Oh, that's Shadow Droid. Shout out to Shadow Droid.
Huge shout outs to Shadow Droid.
He comes through with the spreadsheets every game.
The spreadsheets.
The spreadsheets.
Oh my god, it's been a while since I've seen spreadsheets.
But even without the spreadsheets, I know Colonel Pants is a godly rel. So that was just, I already knew that, knowing that name. So
yeah, was the
respect.
Was the Imperius also a target ban onto Colonel Pants?
I guess it was on them, but we just know that they have ran that as a front line.
This is a Shadow Droid question, isn't it?
Yeah. No, especially with our last game, because we were running all the front line. We didn't want to just get Imperius speared, and kind of dangerous.
Okay.
So.
All right. We're going to, even though Valk didn't ask it this time, we're going to ask some of the Valk questions that he throws in pretty much every time. What is the best sandwich?
A BLT, bacon, lettuce, and tuna.
You got me. You got me. Oh my
Shout
god.
out to myself.
I did not see it coming. I was actually going to talk about how, like, on a BLT, I would actually prefer to take out the tomato, but I would keep the tuna in.
Yeah.
I would.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Nice.
That was a good plot twist.
All right.
What is your pump up jam when it's game day?
Gosh. I don't know. King Andrew, what's yours? I have flipped the interview.
Ooh.
What is yours?
You know what? Nice. I like it. Well played. I'm gonna go with this. Like, it's just a recent thing, but for whatever reason today, I was watching clips of the movie Gladiator. You know, right?
What?
Russell Crowe. So, and you know, you got that like bombastic musical score by Hans Zimmer. I would do that. I would do that.
I
Yeah.
honestly don't have one. It's Joker's yelling that is really my pump up
Nice.
inspiration. Yeah, his rage.
Yeah, I normally don't have one either, and I just asked because Valk's been throwing it on me. But
That's
yeah,
a
I
good
decided to.
question.
We're just gonna start going to what are your shout outs. Clearly, Shadow Joy does all the
Yeah,
homework, but what are any
Shadow
other
Droid, 100%.
nice? What are any other shout outs you have before I say farewell?
No one else really deserves any. Just kidding. Joker for being in a work call. You for casting your best. The team. Fire for coaching, and got to shout out Irby as well. That's it.
Very nice, very nice. Well, good to have you here. Congratulations on your win. I wish you many more.
Thank
And,
you.
You have a good night.
Thanks. You too.
All right. All right, guess what, boys and girls? It is 7:46. 7:46. You know what that means? We got time. We got time. I'm picking up another cast. Unless it's already been taken. We're going to see. So I'm literally going to the NGS website right now. And I'm going to go to it. And I'm going to get myself a bottle of water too. Yeah, we're picking it up. We're picking up Skeleton Shenanigans versus Rainbow Shrooms, 8 o'clock Pacific time, because that's the only time zone that matters. It's the only time zone. Let's see if I know how to one click claim. Yep, we're doing it. So I'm not done yet. We're doing one more match. Because after that, nobody else is playing matches. Literally, this is one of the last two matches of the day. And I just got to let these teams know that I'm literally picking the matchup. Let's see. Skeleton Shenanigans versus Rainbow Shrooms. That's D West. Got to let them know before they start the game without me. The game is not supposed to start until like 13 minutes, but of course it's super late notice. Let's see.